My friends, and welcome to the Electrek Viking. Fantastic to have you here. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you do so. Well, don't make sure, but it'd be great if you did, please. Thank you. And if you like the videos or the video that you're watching, it'd be fantastic if you give the video a like. It really helps Google's algorithms and it helps me to get the channel out there more. I really appreciate your support with the videos, guys. Now, Tesla has been really kicking some goals lately. There's still an enormous amount of FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt around the company, which to me is truly staggering. And I guess it's the tall poppy syndrome. If you haven't heard of tall poppy syndrome, it's when you see a tall poppy, someone bigger than you, cut them down. Bring them down to your size. It's sort of like when crabs are stuck in a bucket, what do? Well, you can imagine. They keep pulling each other down, so they all stay in the bucket. Anyway, recently, Tesla has indicated, based on licenses that it applied for, that it plans to manufacture Tesla vehicles in India. Eventually. I don't believe that'll happen anytime soon, but I believe within the next 3 years, Tesla will build a Gigafactory in India and begin manufacturing vehicles there. But remember, Indian auto market is very different to the Chinese auto market, very different to pretty much every other auto market in the world. So of course, they'll have to approach the situation quite differently. Now, Tesla is seeking lower import taxes on electric vehicles in India by writing to the country's government ministries with good reason. Vehicle import duties are utterly insane in India. 60%. Basically, you have to pay 60% on top of the original purchase price in India. It's crazy. Now, Tesla said that by reducing import taxes in the country, that it would boost demand and generate revenue for the government. And I think they're right. And Tesla has been working for several years, like I said, to enter India for electric car sales. Now, producing vehicles domestically within India's borders is really the ideal scenario for companies and customers, as import duties around about double the cost of a vehicle there. Now, as I said, earlier this year, Tesla applied for and received 2 licenses to give the company permission to operate as a vehicle manufacturer. At this stage, though, unfortunately, it appears as though India only wants Tesla to manufacture vehicles in India. They don't want to give them any kind of incentives. And I'm not saying Tesla should receive special incentives, but I believe it's very much in the country's interest to lower import taxes on EVs. Obviously, there is a lot of pollution in India for various reasons. Obviously, vehicles are one of them. And of course, selling more EVs in India rather than petrol and diesel vehicles is going to help solve this issue. Now, according to sources from Reuters, Tesla is attempting to get in touch with Indian ministries to discuss a possible reduction of import duties on electric cars. So Tesla's not necessarily trying to just reduce import duties on their cars. They're trying to reduce import duties on all electric cars in India. Now, in a letter to ministries and Niti Aayog, India's leading think tank, Tesla argues that slashing imports of fully assembled electric cars to 40% would be more appropriate than the current 60% for cars under $40,000 and 100% for those above $40,000. So basically, every car except the Tesla Model 3 standard variant will have 100% import tax applied to it. So if you want to buy a Tesla Model 3 that's not the standard variant, that's the standard range variant. If you want to buy the long range variant or the performance variant or a Model Y, you've got to pay 100% in import taxes. And right now, if you want to buy the standard version, well, it's still 100% unless Tesla reduced the price to be below $40,000 US. So if they made the price $39,990, then you would pay only 60%. This is just ridiculous. I can't believe the government does this. Anyway, Tesla only has its Model 3 Standard Range Plus variant that's currently under the 40,000 threshold. So, like I said, this imposes a 100% tax rate on every other Tesla EV and, well, most EVs currently on the market. Except, of course, for many EVs on the market in China. Now, the argument is that at 40% import duty, electric cars can become much more affordable, but the threshold is still high enough to compel companies to manufacture locally if demand picks up. Now, I think the argument Tesla is making here is a good one. Not only is India a really good candidate for electrification due to a large population, enormous 1.4 billion people, and really high pollution levels in the country that would favor sustainable energy. Remember, India is actually moving towards sustainable energy. They've invested literally hundreds of millions of dollars into solar panels. They've got enormous solar farms going up, massive solar tenders basically going on constantly. Solar tenders where they're paying 2 cents per kilowatt hour. Renewable energy is definitely coming to India in a big way. Now, Tesla has been requested in India for several years, and Elon Musk has been attempting to enter the market. Unfortunately, the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, supports high import taxes to increase local manufacturing efforts. In other words, he's basically saying, Tesla, build them here or get lost. The problem with that is, without knowing the kind of demand that's in India, and let's be honest, the market is quite small compared to the Chinese market, compared to the United States market, and compared to the European market, the actual automotive car market, India, is very small. But if Tesla was able to import the vehicles into the country at a reasonable price, this would give Tesla a better idea of the actual demand in India and whether or not it'd be worth them building a factory there and what sort of size factory they should invest in. However, apparently, sources have indicated that the company's plan to begin sales isn't dependent on a change in government policy. So Tesla does plan to sell vehicles in India, regardless of whether India does or doesn't reduce import taxes on EVs. Now, I think the most likely scenario is that Tesla would start selling EVs made in China, at their Gigafactory in China, in India first. Now, interestingly, India's Transport Minister, Nitin Gadkari, said that India would be willing to offer incentives to ensure Tesla's costs in the country are less than what they are in China. So, Tesla's Transport Minister is desperate for Tesla to build Teslas in China, and is willing to guarantee that it'll be cheaper for Tesla to build them in India. However, unfortunately, India has a pretty bad reputation of their dealings with foreign companies. Probably, maybe even worse than China does. The Indian government will just randomly take over companies and tell the original owners to get lost. Unfortunately, this is true. Has happened on a number of occasions. Not heaps of occasions, but it's happened a few times. So that is definitely a consideration for Tesla. They have to consider whether or not this could happen. It's definitely a risk factor. You've got to weigh these risk factors into your business operations. I don't know what kind of guarantees India could give Tesla that this won't happen to them, but you just never know with this kind of situation. So you can understand Elon Musk's reticence, or potentially his delaying actually building a Indian Gigafactory. Guys, thanks for watching the video. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye-bye.